Girls, this is Mrs. Aoto. I'm going to teach you how to make a 3D paper snowflake today. It looks like this one. A few things you need to know are that before you get started, you're going to need a glue stick, a pair of scissors, something thin and cylindrical, kind of like this pencil or a pen. You might want some string or a pipe cleaner like this one here. And most importantly, you're going to need this little baggie that has a glue stick and a template in it. This will be in your materials bag that you picked up a few weeks ago, okay? So the first thing you want to do after you make sure you have everything together is pull the template out of the baggie and open it up. You'll see a website printed on this template. It will take you to another copy of this if you would like to print it another day and make another one. You could also use a copy printer if you have one at home to make more of these if you really like them and would like to maybe gift them to somebody. Or if you make a mistake, you could have an extra copy. But you want to make sure you print out another one before you start cutting on this one if you want to make extras off of this copy here, okay? So I'm going to show you what to do with the glitter glue at the end. So if you know how to make one of these already, at least stick around till the end where you will learn a little bit more about what I was hoping you could do with this. So your first job is just going to be to cut out all 6 squares. You're going to want to cut around the border, down, across, up, and you're going to cut down the middle and all the way across these lines like this. You do not want to cut any of the triangles out, and you don't want to cut on any of the small lines just yet. You'll have 6 squares at the end and some extra scraps of paper that you will not need anymore. Reorganize my materials. Here we go. So you have 6 squares, pencil, glue, scissors. Don't put away the scissors yet. You'll have something you need to do. So the first thing you want to do is with one of the squares, you're going to fold it on this solid line right here so that you'll see, and try to make it as on the line as possible so that you'll see 2 triangles here, 1, 2, and then 1 triangle on the back side. Okay? And then you're going to go ahead and fold it over again on this solid line right here in the middle. Try to line up the end points. So now you see 1 triangle here and a triangle here. The next job is to cut on the dotted lines, making sure that you cut through both sides until you reach the end here. You do not want to cut all the way across. You want to cut on the fold right here at the bottom, okay? So here we go. I'm going to go, let me show you right here. Cut, 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 cut. On the dotted line. Stop. Notice that I did not go all the way to the end, but I am cutting through both the top and the bottom layer. I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to do the same here. Alright, if you need a little time to do this, go ahead and pause your video, and I will show you what this looks like when it's all opened up. I'm opening up my snowflake very carefully. This is just one of 6 arms of my snowflake. And you're going to see that you have 3 concentric slits here and 3 over here on this side. And what you're going to do with them is roll them in opposition. You're going to be doing an alternating kind of pattern in order to make one section. I'm just calling these arms because they look kind of like arms to me. One of these sections of the snowflake. So I'm going to go ahead and push my camera down so you can see what I do. What I recommend is that you flip over the snowflake arm so that the lines are actually down and you have the crease right here in the middle, and it's kind of already lifting up a little bit. This will make your job easier. This is one of the hardest parts of creating this snowflake because the version I gave you is so very tiny. So this is where you want to pull in your pencil or your pen, and you're going to be rolling the tips inward so that they connect, they overlap here. I like to kind of cover up the black line. You don't have to do that. And then what you're going to do is add a tiny, tiny bit of glue to keep the pencil there, or the pen. You're going to add a glue to the tip of one of these ends of the triangle, and you're going to roll the arm and just the center part of the snowflake, you're going to pinch it down with your finger. I would count to about 10. I'm going to remove some of this excess glue so nothing sticks to other parts. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to carefully slide out my pencil. You're going to end up doing this step 6 different times. I'm just going to show you it this once for the middle part, but you definitely want to make sure it's glued well, and it'll be the trickiest part just because it's so small. Once you're finished with this, it'll get a little easier. But notice this is another important part of creating the snowflake, that once I have this one curled inward, I'm going to flip the snowflake arm downward, and I'm going to create the same little loop with the next little section of this arm of the snowflake. This time I don't really need the pencil. I'm just going to roll these and pinch the tips together again with a little bit of glue. And I'm going to count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then I'm going to flip it over again and do the other one. Do the next one. I'm going to cover up the line. So I'll put the glue on the side that has the little line on it. I'm going to go ahead and pinch this together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now I'm going to flip it over one more time. And it doesn't really matter which tip gets glued over which one. You might want it to be the same tip each time. It is your choice. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here we are. I've made one of the arms of my snowflake. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to all 6, and then we'll catch back up with each other. You can do the same if you'd like. So now I have all 6 arms of my snowflake assembled, and I'm ready to attach them into my final product. So what you want to know is that when you are putting this together, you're going to want to glue it together. Let's say we're using these two as a pair. You're going to want to glue together the arms right here in the middle, and then also at the end. This will be the center of the snowflake where my thumbs are touching, and here is where I'm going to say is the middle of the snowflake arm. So let me demonstrate that with these two. I'll do a couple and then I'll fast forward to the next part. So I'm going to hold these together for a few seconds, just pinching together the sides. Okay. And then I'm going to glue the ends together here. And I'm going to pinch together. I will repeat with the next one. I'm going to glue together the middle right here. And pinch together for a few seconds, and then I'm going to repeat by gluing the very middle, the end points here. Alright, so I'm going to keep doing that all the way around my snowflake until I get to the very end, and I'll be back with you. I've glued together 5, and the last one you'll just do something slightly different with. You're going to have to glue it to 2 sides to bring the whole piece together. So I'm going to glue, as before, I'm going to glue the middle part of the arm to the one next to it. and I'm going to pinch. And I'm going to glue the tip right here to the very inside of the snowflake. I know it's getting a little tricky to see at this point. And then I will be gluing together these two at the very end. And there we go. So, once we've finished the snowflake, I have a glitter glue pen that I gifted you because some people like to make their snowflakes a little sparkly. If you don't want to, you can go ahead and use this glitter glue for any old thing you want. It doesn't have to be the snowflake, but I made a couple of others with patterns on them, so you can see that I added some designs to this one. This one I had some kind of orangey glitter glue. I made some dot designs. What I was thinking is it would also be kind of nice to just kind of put a thin layer of glitter glue on this. So that's something else you might want to do. I'm going to just squeeze a little bit out and use my finger to spread it around the snowflake. Hard to see, but I spread the glitter glue all around and it's very, very shiny. Now I'm going to set this aside to dry while I show you a couple of things you can do with your snowflake once it's all dry and ready to go. A couple of ideas. One is to get a piece of string or yarn and just loop it through one of the arms of the snowflake and hang it from something like a tree or the ceiling. Another way you could do it is if you have a pipe cleaner, you could just loop it through the snowflake this way and hang it up, turn it into an ornament for somebody. You could even hang it on the wall. Let me give an example. Mr. Aoto, my husband, teaches 4th grade, and he made a gigantic one with his class. And it's so big, it wouldn't be very easy to hang on the tree, but we actually pinned it to our wall. So at home you can just see it all hung up against the wall like this. So you can even, with parent permission, tape or stick it to the wall with something, okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. Please look at the slide deck that I am attaching this video to if you would like to learn how to make a bigger snowflake, maybe with construction paper that you have at home, or you can do it freehand with a regular sized piece of paper. And if you would like to make more of these, well, just watch the video again, or maybe you'll already be an expert. See you later.